What's going on, YouTubers? Moparman 1978 here today. Out here working on the 2000 Chevy Silverado 1500 Classic extended cab, or club cab I should say, or no, extended cab. There we go. Today we are addressing the sound system in the truck, because there for a while the stereo was working, and then all of a sudden it just got quiet, and all we heard was the real high acoustics, like the treble, like something. It was the treble was turned all the way up. Come to find out that this truck, there we go. This truck comes with a tweeter, a 6.5-inch speaker in the door. On some of these trucks, it was supposed to be 6.5 or 5 by something or other, and in the back was supposed to be 6 by 9s, but when I took panels off, found out that it's a 6.5 up front and 6.5 in back. So I went on to eBay, found me a complete set of these marine speakers for using out on boats. Means they're pretty much waterproof. They're 160 watts a piece, shallow mounted. Rockville is the brand. I was able to buy all 4 of them as a set for like 60 some bucks plus shipping. And so if you're not familiar with it, the doors up front, they take a special speaker. Let me show you. Yeah, so it takes these special speakers here. As you can see, this bracket up here, you slide these in on the door, slots in the door, and push this in, and it snaps into place. All these speakers are made in Mexico, China, so they're junk. They're all paper. And I was doing a lot of research online, and the reason being they go out so quick is the way this channeling is designed here in the windowsills. Water runs down and gets all over everything in here, including the speakers. And these speakers are not water resistant or waterproof, and they're all just fiber cover and then cheap foam and whatever else, and they're all junk. So that's what we were having with, because I thought we were having trouble with the actual stereo. I've already got the two. I got the speaker up here already. You can see it behind the screen. I could have spray painted the covers black, but I didn't want to mess with that. I got that installed, and what I did is I just snipped off the old little factory connectors that plug into this, and as you can see, there's the speaker behind the screen. And just took the new sets of wires that came with the speakers, which is these little rolls here. They already have the clip-on connectors built in, soldered or whatever on the back. So this is what I did here. And you will need, in order to take these door panels off, you will need these back ones. There is a screw. What is this? A 9/32. I recommend using an extension and a long 9/32 1/2-inch drive socket. It comes from right down in here. There's a hole. I'll have to find the screw that fell out with the hex head on top. It's inside the truck. This panel got moved around yesterday in the truck because I didn't get a chance to finish up the sound system. But anyway, and you'll need straight edge screwdriver to pop out the snap-in lock cover, the slide lock. And then once you get the door panel off, there's going to be another screw down here on the bottom. You got to disconnect the little speakers. There's a press-in lock on the back. You just press in and pull down, they pop out. And then you got, when you go to put these back on, you got to set the cover up on here and then let it slide down so it connects into these square rectangular holes, and then the top lip here slides down inside this, on top of this rubber seal here. And yeah, here's one of them factory connectors that I was telling you about. You just come up here close as possible, cut it off, and then you go back about 1/2 inch, take the insulation off, and then what I do is I solder the new speaker wire to the existing factory ones. And then you have to have I think it's 7/16 or 3/8 or something socket to take this bolt off, this one, and this one over here. And what I did was these back ones with these weird brackets, these thick plastic brackets, the speaker is actually somewhat glued to that. So what you got to do is you got to get in here between this factory speaker and the bracket and start to peel it up, and you'll hear it peel. And then you just pop it off. And then what I did is I make sure I line the speaker up, make sure the connector is clear, as you can see there, and then get it squared up. And then I take a small, I don't remember what this drill bit size of this drill bit is, but it's just slightly smaller than what the packet of screws is, as far as the inner diameter, not the teeth on the screw. But anyway, I need that. And in order to get the old speaker off, even though it's glued on, it's also screwed on with these little Torx screws. You will need a T15. Yep, T15, and a little core. I always use a little 1/4 inch ratchet and different extensions. But anyway, drill your hole, get it lined up, and then put the screws that came with these aftermarket speakers in, like I did here. As you can see, it's all mounted up. And then we just come over here, and give me just a minute. Yeah, correction. These mounting screws, or bolts I should say, this one here, and this one here are 3/8. Okay, from when I do certain soldering jobs, like automotive stuff that's not too sensitive or intricate, I'll use a regular little butane pistol torch, and just regular old flux solder by Odie. You can get it in hardware or plumbing section at like Menards or Home Depot or whatever. And then I just twist the wires together, and then, as you can see here, let me get this focused, there we go. And then I just solder the wires to make sure they don't come unraveled. And then once they cool off, I got some, I always have a couple extra rolls of this. This is a really good 3M extreme heat, extreme cold electrical tape. I use this for a variety of stuff, so I got this always laying around. And then what I'll do is I'll individually wrap. What I'll do is I'll bend the wire back over on itself. Oops. Sorry. In whatever direction opposite to the other wire. And then I solder each, or wrap each one, and then I wrap the whole entire thing to make sure they're sealed up and they don't touch anything. Okay, so now speaker's installed, the bracket is, I should say, and the wire has been made sure that it's out of the way. It's not going to snag on nothing. So that's it for this door. And then what we're going to do is we've got to put this factory sound deadening sealed plastic back over everything. Alright, so I got that back on, as you can see. This has got to go back over here. This goes up in on the panel, snaps in. Okay, that's back on. And you just pop that back on. Yeah, so here's that. Oh, it's about 1.5 inches long. Little Torx head screw. It goes right up in there. Okay, once you get that screw in there, don't over tighten it because there's plastic in the back part. You will bust that plastic out. When you're going to put one of these on, make sure you turn it upside down, turn it around. This front piece has to go, actually on this side, this bottom piece right here has to go in first before the top two clips do. There you go. There's door number 3 completed. Now we're on to the passenger door, front I should say. Okay, now on this front door you got this plastic press-in clip that's got to come out, which I already started taking most of it out. And I don't have the special little tool, so I'm real careful not to cut this off. And I just bring in a pair of these and pop that out. Leave it on the seat so you don't lose it. I already popped out the lock mechanism or button, whatever you want to call it. Then you got to come over here, and these front doors, there's normally a cap on there. Somehow the cap popped off, but it's got a hex head screw. That one's going to be, I believe, a T20. So I get my there we go. Yep, 20. So yep, there it is. Leave that in the seat. And then gotta pop these front doors, these little pop out covers. You have to see this plastic piece here, you have to put that in first and then pop these in. Yeah, so it goes front, up, and then in like that. And then reverse pattern when you take it out. And then, like I said, the 9/32 to go up in here. And then once you're all done, you gotta be real careful. You gotta lift up. Oh, before you do, got a little bit of a hurry here. These triangular panels, this piece has got to go down in, and these pieces push in to these rectangular slots on the door. Make sure you take that off. Now you can slide the door off. Panel, I should say, not the door itself. But you got to hold on to it, and then at the same time, you got to release. There's a push-in little lock on the side of this connector and this connector, and then the one in the middle is the biggest pain in the butt because there is a release lever, a little plastic built-in release lever. I don't know if you can see that, if I can get in there far enough. Yeah, there we go. See that release lever? this locks into place. These here have a, you gotta push in on this clip. One. There we go. Now you gotta be careful too, because down here on the bottom, when you open up the door, especially for at night, it's got this little factory light that lights up down here on the bottom, which is that thing right there. And then the last one is you got to release this lock clip, connector clip for the tweeter speaker. And there you have it. There's the little tweeter speaker right there. Here's all this. Since I got this door panel off, this door's been acting real slow. I got to grease the tracks, or the windows have been acting real slow going up, so I got to grease any of these internal moving parts to help the window go back up quicker. But here's that factory speaker I was telling you about. And then all you do is you just take a straight edge screwdriver and let's see here. Might have to take a longer handled one. Well, anyway, they're a pain in the butt to kind of get out, but I'll be right back. Yeah, it's best to come in here with your three fingers, go back behind the speaker where that big thick plastic tab pops in, locks into place. Push up and out, and as you're pushing up and out, you take the straight edge screwdriver and you press down on this top part of this flat piece of lip right here, and the speaker comes right out. And there's that factory connector I was telling you about. You just disconnect this. Get rid of that crappy speaker. Come in here as far as you can. Put that flat side there. Snap that off. And then you peel these wires back here, these two right here. Okay, so here's what I do. Since you can't take the mounting brackets off the speaker, I guess you could if you wanted to possibly break that plastic and then try to put it on there. But so what I do is I line this up. Once I get the wires soldered and the wires pushed back inside the door, and then make sure they're not going to catch on nothing, I just take the speaker, make sure those are facing down and they don't come down here and make contact with this here and ground out. And then all I do is go up as far as I can with the speaker inside that hole, line it up straight, and then I take the drill and drill the holes into the sheet metal, which I'll be doing here. Stand by. Yeah, once I get the speaker mounted where it's supposed to be, I drill one hole first and then get that screw started, hold it up and do another one. And then once you got those two holding that up, it makes it a lot easier for you to just center the drill into the middle of the hole on the speaker and just drill through the sheet metal. And these screws are short enough that they're not going to interfere with the door or any mechanism going up and down. So let me get this screwed in there and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm back and the speaker is installed. Everything's out of the way. You always want to give it a little extra room. A wire in case you ever got to take it back out again. And I made sure the connection was soldered. Both connections were twisted together and soldered, and then individually wrapped with electrical tape. And then once they were all laid out flat, I went ahead and electrical tape them again. So all that's left is going through these window mechanism that rotates and oil and everything with some 3-in-1 oil and whatnot. But anyway, I want you to listen to see how they sound, since we all got all new speakers plus the tweeter. The tweeter's in the door panel, so that's not going to be hooked up, but I decided to go with one of my favorite albums here, Best of Judas Priest. This is probably the best album, or one of the very first albums that they have is really good, with the ones with the 2 samurais on it. But here we go.
This morning, high on a bird's wing, quite open-minded, but still quite aware. Follow the sunrise, right through from dawning, looking at landmarks that said I was there. Led to possession, I stood face leaders, never let once fall from their
That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got something out of it, especially for the newbies that's trying to do this on their own with little to no experience. Until next time, take care.